I may have just done something incredibly stupid.
I want to help, but I can't see your foot. How high are we in there?
I agreed to a budget build competition with my good buddy Nate over at Outdoor Auto to see who could build the most capable off-road vehicle at the lowest price. And the loser has to face what we've created and are now calling the Wheel of Pain.
It's like that, y'all, but we don't quit. You keep on rock shot, cause this is it.
Yeah, baby! Yes! What just fell off your car, though?
I don't know. So what does budget build competition mean? Well, Nate and I have created and agreed to a set of rules to abide by for this video series. So the first is the budget. We agreed to cap the budget at $20,000. Now that includes the price of the vehicle. So Nate's chosen to start with a Toyota 90 Series Land Cruiser that cost him $10,000. I've chosen to start with a 1999 Jeep Cherokee XJ, which has cost me $3,000. So right off the bat, I have a little bit of a price advantage or budget advantage over Nate in this competition. The second rule that we've agreed to is that we have to diligently track our expenses no matter what. So both of us are going to have partners that come into this build, and we're going to be, number one, selective about who we work with budget in mind, because even if we're not paying out of pocket for those parts, we're gonna track the retail cost. And so we're gonna be really careful about showing you actual numbers for the build, even if we're not paying for it out of pocket because we found a great partner who wants to be part of this competition. And then the third rule we've agreed to is that we are going to be our own judges. So here are the categories in which we've chosen to compete. Now, if one of these categories isn't a race or something where there's a very clear winner, one of us is going to have to concede. It's a competition about who loses, because Nate and I have created what we're calling the Wheel of Pain. The Wheel of Pain is basically a list of terrible things that we will have to do if we lose in any one category. So the things that we're tossing around and trying to agree to would be like, I don't know, like one of us has to wear a dog shock collar and get shocked by it. Or we have to eat like the hottest wing sauce we can find, like the ones that you see on the Hot Ones show. We're still negotiating what that list is, but I will tell you, that probably creates more incentive not to lose than any kind of cash prize or anything else that would be on the positive side of things. And so I think we're both gonna be extremely motivated to do well in this competition. So now might be a good time to tell you about my strategy versus Nate's strategy in this competition. So I'm not super mechanically inclined. I don't have a big shop, I don't have a lift, I don't have a bunch of tools. And so for me to do all this myself would take a really long time, which I don't have, and I would probably screw a lot of things up. So my strategy is going to be focused on leveraging local small business service providers to do the work, do the build, find the parts, and invest all of my budget in working with these local companies that make things in the USA whenever possible, and still try to see if I can beat Nate in that budget category. Because I feel like, you know, I have an advantage with where our prices started, but I have a disadvantage with my strategy in the overall build, because Nate is very mechanically inclined. He has a beautiful shop. He has two 25-foot lifts. He has a shop manager. He has every tool you can think of. He can fab stuff. I mean, the guy can do it all in his shop. And so I think his strategy is going to be focused on getting really good components and then just installing them himself, because he can save a lot of money that way. So it will be very interesting to see who comes out ahead in the budget category, even though I'm starting with such an advantage. So the last thing to know is that this competition has 3 episodes. This episode, the first one, is the introduction to the competition, introduction to the vehicles, and you will see us take out our vehicles and do a mini kind of competition to start with to see how they do head to head just stock before we start any of the builds. So that's gonna happen in this episode. Then the second episode is gonna be the build. We're gonna show you exactly what we do, all the things that we choose, how we put these things together. And then the third episode episode will be the head-to-head competition where we take both of the rigs out and we test them against each other. And so I really hope that you'll watch all three right now because it's gonna be a ton of fun. So without further ado, let me introduce you to my 1999 Jeep Cherokee XJ that I have nicknamed Kit.
Well, that's a problem.
Meet Kit, short for Kiowa, a Native American word for Cherokee, who is the real hero of this series. Now meet the one and only Rafi K of K Suspension. Rafi runs the best Jeep shop in town, is an expert on XJs, and is my main build partner on this project. We scoured the internet until we found this 1999 XJ that seemed to be mechanically sound, but it was feeling the effects of having sat for 6 years before I bought it.
So I'm driving behind Rafi right now. So we're on the interstate now. The speed limit is 80 miles an hour, and I'm driving behind Rafi with my hazards on because we can't really go more than about 45 miles an hour because the death wobble on that thing is so intense, it feels like the axles are gonna fall off. And so Rafi's trying to find the sweet spot as he's driving it back, but when one of these semis passes him, it basically like blows him into a death wobble. Well, Rafi, you didn't die driving it.
Nobody died. Nobody died.
So I'm guessing maybe a little work on the drive line. Maybe some new bushings.
Oh my God, a couple.
I could see the wobble from behind you.
Dude, it was so bad.
Yeah. Definitely have some work to do on
I
this
talked
thing.
dirty to her a little bit, but we got up to 70.
You
She
did.
started howling. So I backed off. It's scary, but...
This is not a high-speed build at the moment.
No.
Before I addressed any of the issues with Kit, we did our best to remove 6 years of dirt and grime. When it was all said and done, we washed the XJ 3 times before heading out to K Suspension for a proper inspection.
Well, we're driving Kit out to meet Rafi to get a compression test and a leak test and hopefully address this death wobble because it's pretty bad. It kind of comes and goes, but when it starts in, it's pretty impressive. You know, it's going to be a good project because there's a lot to do on this thing, but I'm pretty confident Rafi can do it. He knows XJs really well, and so I'm excited to get out there and see what he has to say. Made it. Yeah, actually at 60 miles an hour wasn't too bad.
Yeah? Once you get past that little...
Like 40 to 50, it feels like the whole thing's gonna shake apart. But
Gotta love it.
yeah, we're here at K Suspension with Rafi, and we're taking kind of our first real look under the hood. Now we're gonna see what kind of mechanical mess we've gotten ourselves into. Hopefully it's not too bad, but you know, I'm looking at the engine bay right now, and there's cobwebs in it, and looks like it's been neglected for a long time. So there's only one way to find out how bad it is, and that's to hook it up and run some tests on it.
I kind of want to know how she's looking on the inside. So I'm going to do a compression test. We're going to check the ignition system. Obviously you drove here, so she's running good, but
Yep.
let's just see how good she is for its age.
Okay, so what Rafi's doing is he's connecting to each cylinder, looking at the spark plug, and then running a compression test to see what the PSI is in there. The first test is 90, which is okay according to
Yeah, it's not bad.
Okay. What do you do if there's a variance?
So if there's a big variance, then you start looking for why you're losing compression. It could be a valve issue, it could be a piston ring issue, head gasket issue. That's when the leak down test comes into play.
Ah, gotcha.
And we can figure out where it's leaking from and then repair from there.
So what we were hoping for is that there was not a 30 PSI variance, but clearly we have 80 here and 110 there, so Rafi's gonna retest it.
And if it ends up being about the same again, we'll do a leak down test. Time to do a leak down.
Bad news on the third cylinder. Rafi tested it again and it still sucks. So he's gonna do a leak down test on it. Don't know what that is, but I'm interested to watch.
So in order to do it, you need to set the piston at top dead center on compression stroke. Stop. Back off a hair. So that piston moving up is just pushing the screwdriver up, and when it stops going up and it starts to go back down, you just back it off a hair and you know you're right at top dead center. So I'm just going to crank it all the way up to that 0 mark. Get a rough, good starting point right there, and then we'll hook it up and see where we go. All right, so here you can see we have almost a 40% loss.
Oh.
So it's leaking from somewhere, so now we listen for it. Oh God. Oh, that's broken.
Intake.
Is it intake?
How do you know? How did he know that fast?
You can hear it. Oh. So that tells us that the intake valve is more than likely bad. For example, this is what's underneath that valve cover. So you have all of your tappets, your push rods, and the push rods go down into where the lifters are. And right here are all the valve springs.
Right.
So as the engine turns, those push down and roll up and down so that the valves open and close. So we have cylinder 1, 2, 3. You got your intake right here. So this valve, either the spring or the valve seat or something like that, is damaged under the head, and you have to pull the head to do it. He's actually about to pull this head right now, so once this is off, we can see what it looks like underneath. So what we know is this engine obviously runs. Drove here. We got great compression in all cylinders except for cylinder 3. We had about 80 psi. So we did a leak down test, and we verified that we have a intake valve leak. So probably just a valve seat. Head's gonna have to come off to fix it, but for now, we're just gonna run it and see what happens.
So what's the what is death wobble usually caused by?
So death wobble can be caused by any of the front end components on a solid front axle vehicle. It is not a Jeep thing. It could be Jeep, it could be Ford, it could be Dodge. If it has a solid front axle, you can have death wobble. You have everything from ball joints to hub assemblies to control arm bushings, control arms, multitude of different reasons. The steering dampener does not cause or cure death wobble. I don't care what anybody says. That's not the way it works. So we have a ball joint here, and we have a ball joint here. And when I pull up on this wheel, you'll see them move. So that means that the actual ball joint inside of it, they call it a ball joint because it's literally a joint with a ball in it, has worn out and has too much movement. The tires are cupping too, that's suspension related, but in any case, we're gonna need ball joints on this side. The hub you test by rocking the wheel back and forth in this direction. Ball joints you test by moving it up and down.
Oh, okay.
So we have bad ball joints, the hub feels good, so that's all right. And then we have actual U-joints here, which I'll throw a pry bar in and see if they move. Oh, that's the ball joint moving. They're that shot. They're a bit rusty, but they're not bad. I'd replace them while we're in there.
So one of the problems with the XJ right now is that it has terrible death wobble, bump steer, like it's just kind of a mess when it comes to the drivetrain, the axles, the gearing, all that stuff. And so I've been looking at like how to solve this problem at a reasonable price. And so I heard that Chris, who works here at K Suspension, is also doing an XJ project, and he might have some parts, maybe some axles. I don't really know all the details, but I was told to like talk to him, see if we can maybe cut a deal on some used parts. So I'm gonna go see what he has available and see if it makes sense for this project. So Chris, I hear you've got a couple axles that you're looking to part ways with.
I do. They came right off a 98 Cherokee.
And like, what's the gearing on them and all that?
I've got a Dana 30 high pinion up front with 488 gears, and a Chrysler 8 1/4 in the rear with same gearing and an LSD.
Okay, so that should work really well. How much you want for them?
$600.
Sold, dude. Okay, awesome. That solves a huge problem for me. That's the bump steer problem right there, and the death wobble. Okay, you got anything else?
I've got a bunch of parts. I've got a transfer case with a slip yoke eliminator and drive shafts to match. I got a set of wheels if you're looking for wheels. A lot of different parts laying around.
What do you think? Should we get the slip yoke thing? And
I think it'd be an excellent addition to the build.
how much you want for the transfer case stuff?
Let's make it another $600.
Sold! Before any actual modifications were done, Nate and I agreed to meet at a well-known off-road area in the Owyhees called Lost Trail. Our plan was to test out the XJ and the Land Cruiser stock to baseline where we'd be starting from with our builds. And as soon as I hit dirt, I was reminded just how bad the stock suspension and axles were in this XJ.
I'm gonna tell you right now, this is not a good experience driving off-road. This XJ, I don't know what the PSI on the tires are right now. I should probably air them down, but it feels like they're set to like 75 PSI or something. I feel every pebble in the road, and I all of a sudden become just a little bit nervous about doing anything with this thing off-road before we work on it. All right, Nate, we're here in the Owyhees at Lost Trail. We finally got these two vehicles together to do a little kind of like break-in, see what we're up against.
Yeah.
And I gotta say, first impression is yours looks a lot nicer than mine.
Yeah, but yours is more off-road capable.
Well, I don't know.
I have zero clearance.
That's true.
I literally have baby steps on the side of mine, so toddlers can get in.
Well, we will find out here in just a second. Like
I think those are gonna get ripped off.
Yeah, in what shape they're actually in. But I'm really curious to learn from you, like why you chose this rig and some of the details around it.
This is a Land Cruiser. It's a 2000. It's a 100 series Land Cruiser. You can still find them affordable. This thing has. You have a V6 that's underpowered. I have a V8 that's underpowered. So the 4.7 V8, you would never guess that it was a V8 when you stomp on the gas pedal, but it is one of the most reliable engines that Toyota ever built. Powertrain on this is not our concern. It's getting this thing to actually be able to off-road. Because as you can see from the license plate, this is my wife's daily driver right now. It says Mama Mitts, and it is a Mama Mobile. We have whatever these grand steps are called, which basically means just about any rock on earth is going to high center us. We have road tires that are worn down. I already got a flat on these just getting this car home. Beyond that though, this thing's in really good shape. It's got about 236,000 miles on it. I have half the budget that you have to put in on parts, but I think I don't really have to do a lot. I just need to get it a little more clearance, a little bit cleaned up, and some good tires on it, and who knows, hopefully it'll do good. You wanna know the best part about Land Cruiser? When you take your kids to the soccer game, you still have a built-in seat. If you look inside, it has leather seats, it's got all the nice amenities, all the electric buttons actually work. There's literally not a single light on the dash. No check engine light, no nothing.
I have the same problem, except the lights just don't work.
Oh, okay. That's one way to fix them, actually. Just unplug them. But yeah, so the inside's really nice. It's really comfortable. It's just going to be about, can we get it to perform on hard trails?
Well, dude, I mean, that looks like a pretty nice car right out of the gate. That's like a car that someone would just buy to have as a
For
car.
soccer practice.
Yeah, I mean, it's nice on the inside. But let's see how they do off-road. Let's do ride-alongs, man. I'll ride with you. You ride with me. We'll drive this trail and kind of push our cars a little bit and just kind of see where they're at currently.
Well, I think we should do yours first. And it does have four-wheel drive, right? You verified that works? Yes?
I have put it into four-wheel drive.
Good.
And it seemed like it was in four-wheel drive. Yeah.
Seemed like the knob moved into
the knob
where
moved.
Okay, good.
It seemed like something happened underneath. Okay. I can't verify that all four tires were powered.
We're going to do that right now.
We're going to go find out. All right. Welcome to the XJ.
I mean, first impression, yours is cleaner than mine.
Yeah, it's cleaner, but it's not nicer.
I like your roof. It's made out of somebody's old yoga pants, I think.
There might be a seam somewhere. Huh. Here's our first little rock. Let's see how we do here.
Oh my God. I think that might have almost broke your axle right there.
I think you might be right. Come on, buddy.
Oh God, wait, windows. I can tell you one thing for sure. This window doesn't work.
Oh, let me see if I can get it to work from here.
There we go.
So you just gotta ask me to do it.
It's driver only.
Let's just give it a little roll. Come on. Oh, that, I'm not used to this kind of an off-road experience. Maybe I can just get the corner of it. There's just a corner over here. Come on, buddy. Yes!
We went it over a rock!
Yes! Oh!
We're rock crawling now.
That was a really poor first rock. You know what? Let's drive this first little obstacle, and then let me jump in with you and just see the difference of this obstacle from this car to the next.
Yeah, sure. We'll see if mine will even go up this obstacle.
All right, here we go. Roll it.
Oh God. I don't know if you guys can tell, but this is not smooth. There's no way.
Well, these aren't the best tires.
Before anybody calls it, we did air down. We're not trying to make this awful. Oh my gosh.
You know, maybe I just gotta work the tires back and forth, get them sticky, a little sticky.
You know what the problem is? We have no articulation, and you know what that is? This wheel is not on the ground.
Okay, so here we are. We're kind of literally stuck in the mud and on the rocks. And when we were kind of assessing the situation, what we found out was we have a little bit of a problem here in the rear, Nate.
Yeah. See, everybody lifts their vehicles, but they kind of forget that droop matters too.
So like, you know, when we're riding level, the tires are
right here.
and now we're off the ground by, I don't know, 4 inches or so. And this is why we don't have any traction.
Well,
Yeah.
I think we're gonna have to call a judge. You're not allowed to be modifying your vehicle yet.
What are you talking
and
about?
You are already taking your bumper off.
Oh,
I think you're cheating.
is the thing that's gonna come off?
I mean, there's not a lot holding it on yet.
I don't even know that I hit anything.
Oh,
with
we
it.
hit it.
Oh
We hit
yeah,
it back
oh,
there
yeah,
on
we
the-
did.
Just for the record, that was also hitting the rock as well right now.
Oh, so this is interesting. I just went to close the back tailgate and I think it's just like the frame is flexed out enough that it doesn't actually fit in there square. So it's not shutting. We might have to get level before this thing will shut. Okay, let's try this one more time.
Oh boy.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
get really heavy.
We go left,
Really?
right, left, right, left, right, left.
We're almost gonna get the ground.
Come on, Benny. Okay, now I'm getting tired.
We need 4 people in the back.
The one solace I take in this is that I really don't think yours is gonna make it either.
There's no way. I mean,
Time to put your money where your mouth is, buddy. And our back hatch is wide open.
the door just opened.
Okay, here we are in the, I was about to say Lexus because it feels so luxurious in here compared to my Jeep. Oh, look at this. You've got some nice hair scrunchies. This is, I mean, it just reminds me of, it just says Toyota to me. Just hair scrunchies and kids' toys. And you could turn on, like, this probably has a nice stereo. You could, like, listening to nice music, maybe some, like, Indigo Girls probably. You know, just good feeling music for Toyota.
We haven't hit our bottom on anything yet.
That's true.
We're doing okay.
That's true. Oh, hello.
I think my slider is approximately 1 inch from the ground.
Yeah. Ooh, just hit something.
What are we hitting?
I think it's just you're hitting a rock on your step here.
Probably something we don't need, right?
Yeah, I mean,
We don't need those.
it's just telling you to keep going. It's saying, Nathan, I want to do this.
Okay, so the biggest problem is this car is so fat.
You're in so much trouble right now, dude.
My bumper is going to touch, right?
Yeah, you've got room to come more passenger.
Well, I'm
Ooh.
in your mud hole that you dug me.
Well, hey, you're welcome.
Maybe we'll just survey the situation real quick.
It's a sitch here.
So I see a few problems. One is these look like Daytona Racer tires.
Yeah, tires aren't great.
The second I drop forward, we'll be in this.
Uh-huh. But
Yeah.
that's just dirt. That's not a rock.
Well, it's just plastic. This will
Yeah.
just go away, probably.
Yeah.
Running board delete. It almost feels like I could get through this if I could just get some traction.
So
Give the beans!
you're going to scrape like a mofo. This will not work. Because you're
100% on my rail.
on the rock rail, and then right there, you've got a rock that's waiting for you. And so I just don't see how this is gonna work, but I'm really interested to see you try. Woo! Toyota technology. Oh, we're moving forward. I think you might make this. I'm not praying for you to pop a tire, but that would really help.
That would
me out
end
right
this. That would end this.
now. That would help
How
me.
are we looking over there?
You're great.
I'm actually clear. I'm just spinning the tires.
If you had a front locker, just lock it, and you'd just be able to come forward.
'Cause that's not
lots of
spinning.
traction.
Yeah,
no,
yeah,
it's
yeah.
not spinning.
Yeah.
But there's tons of traction here.
You know the problem is we're recording this. So when I
She
do
knows.
break my wife's car, we have all the evidence to show her all the dumb things that I did. Oh, it's a dip. I think we got it.
Oh, just go! Oh no!
Oh my God, we did it!
Oh God! I'm excited, but I'm also really pissed. I'm excited. Now I want to try again.
We made it farther than a Jeep.
I don't like
What do you
this at
think?
all. I think I need to give it another shot. I can't.
I
let
think
this
so
stand.
too. You got it. I mean,
I'm very bothered by
we
this.
may not have wheels on the bus anymore, but we got to at least get it to the top. Right?
All right, dude. There is no way I'm going to let this stand without trying one more time. This is like completely different driving than you. You were like you're like a chef's kitchen. You're like
just feather.
Let me see. This needs a little bit of paprika. We're gonna put that in there, and it thinks about it and
You
cooks it.
also need a first gear that you can get to stay in first gear.
Yeah, this is hard driving.
Oh my god! This is so not gentle. I want to help, but I can't see you. Your foot. How high are we in there?
About 2 feet.
But you are so high in the wood. You're supposed to do a Jeep wave. This is the wrong side.
This is a Jeep tilt.
But the thing is, there's no control.
This is Jeep driving, baby. Like, let's go, boys! Yes! Come on, baby! All right, I'm just gonna say I'm sorry in advance.
Something hit the floor really hard.
Is that tire smoke?
That tire smoke, you're good.
Tire smoke, not car smoke.
Oh, here we go.
Let's go!
Yes!
What just fell off your car though?
I don't know, but we made it up.
Oh, fine. We tied.
that was pretty awful.
That was pretty awful.
That was a lot of fun. All right, dude. Well, that was a ton of fun. That was a lot more fun than I thought I was going to do. yeah. I have never driven that way or seen someone else drive that way. So that was a ton of fun. But now I know what I'm up against in the competition. I know I've got some ideas and things I need to work on with the XJ. And so it's just time to go get to work.
Yeah, good luck with that door.
Yeah, thanks. Item number 1, doors must close.
All right, go get it.
All right, dude.
This should be fun.
Let's go.
Or spend some time and rock a rhyme. I said it's not that easy.